Hey guys, what's up? So today we are going to be doing a DIY painting. This is so easy and this is one of the cutest things you can paint for Christmas. And I really wanted to do one of these last year, but this year I have so far made 3. So this will be my 4th one, and this is the first one I did. This is kind of what it will turn out looking like. So it's going to be a vintage truck with a tree in the back, and you can write whatever you want. I just put Country Christmas because that's what my mom wanted. This was her early Christmas present, and today I'll be teaching you how to make one. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be showing you is all the supplies you'll need. First of all, with any painting, you're going to need a blank canvas to start out with. This is just a plain white canvas. I am not really sure what these are called. They're like a stretch canvas. So as you can see, that's what it should look like. This is the front you'll paint on. You're going to need a pencil, just any type of pencil, just a normal pencil. You don't really need a sketch pencil for this. You're going to need paint brushes. You don't need this many. This is just what I have. And you're going to need, I'm going to have to show you this because there's a bunch. We're not going to be using all those, but you are going to need some paints to mix and to see what color you want. I'm going to be making my truck red, but you can make yours blue or any other color you want. And I know this looks so dirty, but I've painted on it so much it's stained. You're going to need a paint tray or a plate or anything. It doesn't really matter what it is. Okay, so that's the stuff you'll need. So let's get started painting. Okay guys, so the first thing you're going to start by doing is just sketching very lightly on this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this very well, but I'm just going to sketch, and because you don't just want to start by slapping paint on, otherwise it's going to look like a total hot mess. So I'm just going to start by first sketching it out. So this is what my sketch looks like. Yours might look completely different, and that's fine. The trucks are not supposed to look like you just went and bought them from a dealership. They're supposed to look vintage with a bunch of wear and stuff on them. It's not supposed to look perfect. So this is what it is, and we are going to start mixing and painting. So let's start on that. So I'm going to use this Artist Lost paint. We just got these from Michael's. I'm just going to mix a bunch of reds. This is burnt cyan. That's what I'm going to be using for one of the main red colors because I want it to look a little bit darker red. I'm just going to mix like a bunch of stuff, a bunch of different reds. This is Brilliant Red. I'm going to mix some Deep Red. I really like the deep red color too. I'm going to use some Crimson Red. Basically, you're just going to want to mix all these together until you get the color that you like. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine or the internet if you looked up a picture or something like that. I like to run my brushes across my hand before I use them to kind of get them softened up. I don't jab them or that's gonna hurt your brushes, just like rub them. So I really like this color, so that's probably the color that I'm gonna use. Right there. Okay, now I'm going to want to get a bunch of different colors. I'm gonna want some black. And I don't have a gray, so I'm going to have to mix me up some gray. So I'm going to need some white. I'm going to use this phthalo green. I'm going to mix some sap green. And I'm going to mix some, not very much or you're going to turn this whole thing a really gross color, but I'm just going to mix a tiny, tiny dot of black. My brushes are made by Handmade Modern. They're just some wooden and metal. Okay guys, so now I'm going to start with painting. I always start with these fenders first. I always start with them red and then I'll put some black around them. So I'm not just going to tell you, I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's get started. So I'm first just going to start with some red. Now guys, I have not watched any tutorials on YouTube on this, so if you watch a different tutorial, it's probably going to be a little bit different because I don't know what all they said to do. So I'm basically just outlining this fender because after you outline it, you're probably not going to be able to see your sketch marks very well. So I don't just going outside of that right now. Okay, so once I have this, I'm going to go in with some black, and this is just like a wider brush, but it's smaller. It's wide and small. And with the black, I'm going to use a smaller brush. As you can see, this is a really small one. So I'm just going to get a little bit of black on it. Not very much at all. Okay, so I just got a little bit. Don't glob it on. You only want a tiny bit or your whole thing's gonna turn out black. This is just kind of for shadowing and get the outline. So I'm just gonna go around it with black. Doesn't matter if you get red on it. Your brushes are gonna get mixed anyways. Okay, so yeah, I know this looks weird, but then you're gonna go in with some red, and you're gonna go over the black and just try to blend it all in together. But only rub it on that spot that you got the black on, or your whole thing's gonna turn out a black color. Okay, so once I have that all blended, I'm going to try to clean my brush off a little bit. Don't run it under water or anything, just kind of mix it around in the color a little bit. And I'm just going to go over all of it with red. Now, as you can see, it's kind of all blended together where it doesn't look as just black and red. And it looks a little weird because it's not dry on camera, but that's kind of how it looks. And it's okay if it doesn't look perfect. Again, it's supposed to be a rustic truck. It's not supposed to look beautiful and brand new. So I'm just gonna do the same exact thing with the other fender, just repeat all that process, and we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to do the wheels. So I'm just taking more black, and I'm just going to do a circle. I'm just leaving a circle in the middle, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so there's my wheels right there. Now we're gonna mix up the gray, and the gray needs to be light, not a dark gray. Make it a light gray, because if it's not light, it's not gonna show up. Okay guys, so I finished mixing up my gray, and a little tip, you wanna add more white than black to your gray. I learned that on one of my last ones because I did it way too dark. Okay, so I'm just putting a little circle in the middle of the tire. Don't know how well you can see that on camera, but off camera it looks fine. So I got my circle, and guys, I know this is a little bit weird, but trust me, it looks good. You're going to want to paint your lights gray. So on the front and the back of your truck, you want them to be gray. And then the handle on your door of your truck needs to be gray as well. Just like that. Okay, so we're done with gray. We're going back to black now. And by the way, guys, I use the same brush for black as gray. So that's what I was talking about. You can mix brushes up. Okay, so I got black again. And for the black, I'm just going to paint, like, I sketched a little line on the bottom of my truck, so I'm just going to paint that black. So this is how it's looking so far. And guys, I don't really know. I Googled pictures when the first time I did this, and one picture I really liked, and it had these two little boxes on the bottom. I don't really know what those were. I don't know what they were for, but I liked them, so I've been putting them on all of mine that I've done, so they look really good. So I just paint those in black. So I do a smaller one, and then I'll do a bigger one. Just make sure it's not too big so it's not dragging like where the ground would be. Like that. So this is how it looks with those boxes. I think it looks pretty good, but you totally don't have to put them if you don't like them. Now let's move on. So I'm gonna do the little mirror now. And that's gonna be black as well. So I basically just paint a line and then like a little ovalish thing on top of it. Put a little mirror like that. Okay, now we're gonna finish the whole truck, but before we do that, we need to paint a little bit on the door. Now the door doesn't need to be as specific, I guess would be the word, as the rest. So I just brush a little bit, really lightly on it, because a bunch of that's gonna be shaded in. Just give it a little bit darker, and then I paint a line behind the door, like where the tailgate and the cab meet. Like that. So a bunch of this is gonna be shaded. This is just gonna be like shadows and highlights and stuff. Not highlights, highlights are coming later. So now we're gonna go back in with the red and paint our truck. So I just paint over those lines that I did for the door, because those were just kind of shadowing the door. That's what I call it, at least. Okay guys, so I'm basically just painting over this whole entire truck now. Don't go back over the fenders again, or it's gonna blend them in more and you won't be able to tell that that is fenders. So on some of the parts I'm going up and down where I want it to look like up and down, and some I'm going side to side. On this bed, I'm going to side to side. Hey guys, so I'm basically done with it, but I still have to do the highlighting and shadowing and the tree, obviously, because that's what makes it Christmassy. But here it is with all of that. So this is just kind of like the basic form of it. So let's get on to the more, I guess, intense stuff. So let's go. Okay. So now that we have that, I'm gonna go in with some shadowing. So we're just gonna take some plain black, and we're basically just gonna shadow. Okay, so I'm just gonna do some shadowing up here. Just for like a hood. I'm gonna do a little bit more on the fenders. Okay guys, so now we are going to go to highlighting. This is one of the easiest ones. I really like this part. So we're gonna go in with some white, and make sure that you shadow enough so that you know it's actually like a truck. So I'm just taking white, not very much at all, and I'm just going to put different highlights in different places, and you don't want all of them to look alike. So I'll put one, now you don't want it to like surround it, but I'll put one like on the rim of this fender, and then I'll put one on the wheel, and then I'll put one on this wheel. And like the wheels, you don't want them to have the same highlight. And I'll put one on this fender. Put one on the hood. Basically, you just want to see. Now, I took like this class before, and she explained it to me, and it really confused me. I was like, how does that work? But really how it works is you just want to see where your light's coming in from. Say like the sun's shining from right here, it'd reflect right here. So you just want to put it on those reflection spots. Okay, so once we do that, now it's time to move on to the tree. Oh wait, no it's not. We gotta do it some gray right here. So this is kind of a shadow too, because like you have to shadow around the tire and the fender. Like that. Okay, let's move on to the tree now. Okay, so basically I'm just going to get my greens and I'm taking this long thin brush and I'm just going to paint my tree. Now, first I want to sketch the outline of my tree, like where I want it to be, because I messed up the first time I did my painting. I really like the second one. I don't have the second one to show y'all, but I really like this kind of tree. Okay, so it's facing downwards, not like out, if you know what I mean. Like it's facing like that, whereas my first one was facing horizontally. So it's kind of at an angle. So I'm basically just gonna do like little swoops until I get it like I like it. Okay, so there's the outline of my tree, and then we just basically have to just fill it all in.
Okay guys, so she finished the painting. It's beautiful. And here's the best part. She's already painted a couple of these. This is actually her third one. And she painted this one for one of you guys. She painted this for one of our viewers. So here's how this is gonna work. We are gonna draw a winner Thursday, December 13th around noon. You will find out who the winner is on Friday morning, next Friday, December 14th. So be watching for that video. As soon as you hear, if it's you, email us your address and we'll get it shipped out to you that day. And this is just our little way of saying Merry Christmas to y'all. There's nothing super special to do. No. All you have to do, Emily, you want to tell them what they have to do?
All you have to do is comment hashtag VWFF on the bottom of this video. There's unlimited entries, so you can comment as many times as you want, and that'll give you as many chances as you want to enter.
So get to commenting hashtag VWFF on this video only. This is the only one we're going to draw from. We learned that lesson on the 1,000 subscriber challenge. When you get multiple videos going, it's a nightmare.
It doesn't work well.
So it's on this video only. It'll be randomly drawn. Wish we could give everyone a present because y'all have been so good to us. But that's it for now. We'll see you on the next video, and God bless.